Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Browsing Reddit can do a lot of things. It can be educational, it can be entertaining, it can also make you question everything you've eaten
your entire life.
Let me show you what I mean. It gets pretty bad. So I'm checking out Reddit, checking out the front page, seeing what's going on. I found this post on the front page that's titled, "Why Washing Your Dry Chilies is Important." And it has a video linked of these, let me just show you. It's a bunch of mice running through the dry chili. It's pretty staggering, to say the least. I mean, we all kind of know, right, that there's mice, there's bugs, there's maggots in all fruit and everything, but you just don't know what's allowed. The FDA actually has a limit on how much bug poop, how many whole bugs can be in your food, or mice hair. They can allow up to a certain amount of mice hair to be in your food. I don't know if you knew that, but I didn't, and it blew my mind. Let's look at the video first to give you an idea of how bad it really is. How many mice are running through this dry chili? Look at it, they're just everywhere. And as soon as they move a little bit of the pile, you see more of them. They're everywhere. So I start reading through the comments to see if anyone has any information to add to this. Maybe this is a isolated event. Maybe this doesn't happen all the time. Maybe this is just, these people, they left the chili somewhere, and I don't know. I'm just hoping that there's something off here. This gotta be an off-normal event, right? So let's take a look. Let's read on. And it says, the first comment starts with, "You guys would be surprised to learn how much mouse you've eaten in your life." And then after scrolling past all the joke comments, this person, Goose Gladwell, provides a link of what everyone is talking about, of what's legally allowed to be in your food. So let's check that out. This is what's scaring me. This is scary stuff, gentlemen. This article was released in 2019. Do you know how much bug poop and mouse hair we've eaten since then? I mean, since we were born? This is bad. I mean, I didn't know about it. Did you? So let's talk about the FDA. The FDA calls bug poop, whole bugs, mouse hair, stuff like that, they just call it food defects. And there's an allowable limit of what these companies can produce with poop, hair, and whatever, anything in there. And again, I understand that there's no way to make it 100% clean and 100% keep all these things out. I know there's no way, right? It's just that I didn't read it in black and white until today. I had no idea. I'm disgusted. Am I gonna stop eating? All right, let's start with breakfast, All right. The coffee beans you grind for breakfast are allowed by the FDA to have an average amount of 10 milligrams or more animal poop per pound. As much as 4 to 6% of beans by count are also allowed to be insect infested or moldy. That's right, I said it. Moldy. Let us read on. As you sprinkle black pepper on your morning eggs, try not to think about the fact that you may be eating more than 40 insect fragments with every teaspoon. Okay, let's continue. It gets better.
So good.
So, did you eat fruit for breakfast? Because it says here that fruit flies can catch a ride anywhere from field to harvest to the grocery store, getting trapped by processors or freezing in refrigerator delivery trucks and ending up in your home. Fruit, we all kind of knew. Move on, right? Let's go to lunch. This is going to get good. It's going to get better. Stop. Let's say you pack peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for everyone's lunch. Good choice. All right. Peanut butter is very controlled with the FDA. They love that peanut butter, baby. They control it. An average of 1 or more rodent hairs and 30 or so insect fragments are allowed for every 100 grams, which is 3.5 ounces. That's craziness. So if it's allowed, why would they up the controls? They wouldn't, right? It's a lot. They're probably pushing to get more rodent hairs because it's just so difficult and time consuming and tedious and price, all that stuff. Okay, now we move on to the jelly and jam, my favorites. Let's see if they're going to remain my favorites, huh? Apple butter can contain an average of 4 or more rodent hairs for every 3.5 ounces and about 5 whole insects. Getting that protein, baby. This doesn't even count of all the mites and all the ants and all the stuff that gets in there that we have just no control over, right? Let's continue on. Anyone a Bloody Mary fan? Well, you got bugs in there too. Enjoy. The tomato juice in a 14-ounce Bloody Mary can contain up to 4 magnets or 20 or more fruit flies. Oh, yeah, baby. That Bloody Mary is spiked. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Are you strapped in? I'm not. I'm going to fly off this chair once I read the dinner menu. Did you know that there can be 450 insect parts and 9 rodent hairs in every 16 ounces boxes of spaghetti? Spaghetti? I mean, I get the rest of the stuff, fruits and such. Spaghetti? Come on. Aha! The FDA comes in clutch when it comes to pizza, baby. Pizza sauce are a little bit less contaminated than tomato juice in your cocktail. The FDA only allows 2 maggots for every 16-ounce can. That is ridiculously low. Come on, 2 maggots? You'll be all right. All right, who's a mushroom fan? This ain't affecting me, baby. I hate mushrooms. For every 4-ounce can of mushrooms, there can be 20 or more maggots of any size. You can get a big one. You can get the mama bear. Let's get serious, shall we? Let's talk about asparagus. 40 or more scary-looking teensy thrips for every quarter pound. What is a thrip? Huh? Let's look up what a thrip is. Okay, well, I shouldn't have looked up what a thrip is. It is a horrifying little insect that I wish to never see or eat or meet or any of those things. Last but not least, it's the spices. This is where all the goodies hang out, baby. Let's season our food with some insects and hair and maybe some oregano. I don't know. It says here that crushed oregano can contain 300 or more insect bits and 2 rodent hairs in it. All right, this gotta be the worst one. Paprika, I am never using again. Never. Paprika can have up to 20% mold. 20% mold. We're eating mold. And up to 75 insect parts and 11 rodent hairs. Not 12, not 13. Don't even ask. 11 is our number, baby. We're eating rodent hair, furry paprika. All right. That was a lot of disgusting information. But let's work through how they decide this stuff, how they find out how much is in there. Let's find out. Quality assurance people are constantly taking samples of these foods to make sure it doesn't go over the limit, to make sure there's nothing weird in there, and if there is, they just kick it back. So what happens when they kick that food back? Do they just throw it away? What happens to it? It says here in the article, if this gentleman has a bunch of cranberries and it's been a very buggy week and there's a bunch of animals in there, they sent them back to get reworked. What is rework, you ask? So those cranberries, he can't sell those, so he's going to send them to a canning operation where they can just boil it and skim that stuff right off the top. But you might say to yourself, it's already marinated in it. It's already in the flavor. Why should I eat that? Why is this allowed? So the way it's explained in this article is that there's a yuck factor and there's a risk factor. And it's mostly just yuck factor that we're looking at here, right? There's not risk, there's not contamination, we're not going to get sick. So it says here in the article that what we should really worry about is stone, metals, plastics, stuff like that that's going to get in there that could really screw us up if we eat it, right? You might be saying to yourself, okay, it's rodent poop, bugs, whole bugs, maggots in there. How is that not contamination? How is that not going to make me sick? The answer is, I have no idea. I just know we've been eating rodents, maggots, bugs for a very long time. So I guess you can do with that information what you will.
Do you, boo-boo? Do you, boo-boo?
And I'm gonna go get some Taco Bell.